We're always told that success is all about the hustle, right? But what if there's something else? A kind of secret ingredient? Well, that's what we're digging into today. We're calling it the grace advantage. I mean, it's drilled into us from day one, isn't it? The power of the hustle. Just work harder, grind longer, and you'll get there. But you gotta wonder, is that really the whole story? Is hard work all by itself truly enough? So, to even begin to answer that, we've got to look past our own efforts and think about a totally different side of success. Yeah, the usual recipe for success sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? You've got to have talent, you've got to be smart, and you just have to outwork everybody in the room. That's the story we're sold. It's like the simple equation: effort in equals results out. But there's some really old wisdom that kind of throws a wrench in that whole idea. Check out this line from Ecclesiastes. It basically says, hey, being the fastest doesn't mean you'll win the race. Being the strongest doesn't mean you'll win the fight. And being the smartest, that doesn't guarantee you'll get rich. So it's pointing to something else, something deeper going on behind the scenes. Okay, so if it's not just about being strong or smart, what is this other thing? What's the missing piece? And that, my friends, brings us right to the main idea we're talking about today, the grace advantage. So what in the world do we mean by grace here? Well, think of it this way. It's a part of success that goes way beyond your own talent and your own hard work. It's like an outside help, an advantage you didn't necessarily earn that can completely change the game for you. And here's the really important part. This isn't some passive sit back and wait kind of thing. No, the idea is that grace is an active force. It's out there, literally arranging things, orchestrating circumstances, putting everything in place for you. It's almost like having a secret conductor for the orchestra of your life, making sure all the pieces come together perfectly. Let's break this down so it's super clear. On one side, you've got everything you bring to the table, your brain power, your hustle, your skills. But on the other side, you have this grace advantage, that outside force pulling the strings, connecting the dots. And the point here is that real, lasting success, that happens when those two things work together. Okay, so if grace is this active coordinator, how does it actually work? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. The scope of what this grace coordinates is huge. We're talking about how things happen for you. We're talking about who comes into your world and who leaves. It's about the timing of people and opportunities showing up and even why they're there in the first place. Basically, it's the ultimate planner, lining up all the right people, the right resources, and the right chances, all at exactly the right time. And just so you know, this isn't some new age idea. The apostles, guys like Paul, John, and Peter, they totally got this. It was a huge part of how they saw the world. And you can see it all over their writings. So many of their letters start with this exact phrase, grace be to you. And look, that wasn't just them being polite, like saying, hey, how's it going? No, it was a powerful declaration. They were essentially saying, I want this divine advantage to be working in your life. They knew just how powerful it was. Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But what about in real life? The big question is, can you do anything to get more of this advantage working for you? So, let's get right to it. If this grace thing is so powerful, how can we get more of it? How do we multiply it in our own lives? Well, the source gives a surprisingly direct answer right from the book of 2 Peter. It says grace gets multiplied through the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord. So the key ingredient here, it's knowledge, plain and simple. And this knowledge isn't just about reading a book. It's a whole process, and it breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you've got to gain that knowledge. Second, you really have to let it sink in, meditate on it. And third, and this is crucial, you have to actually use it. Put it to work in your everyday life. It's not a one-and-done thing. It's a cycle. Learn, think, do. Over and over again. All right, so we've talked about what this grace advantage is and even how you might increase it. And when you put it all together, it kind of flips your whole perspective on its head, which leads me to one last thing to think about. So, I want to leave you with this one question to chew on. Think about it. We spend our whole lives trying to achieve success, right? We hustle, we grind, we force it to happen. But what if this whole idea is true? What if the greatest success you can have isn't something you fight for and achieve, but something that you simply receive? That changes everything, doesn't it? It challenges the very way we think about chasing our goals.